What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm Accord in the Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. And it's been a while, folks. I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving holiday. Voodoo, did you have a great holiday?
Oh man, I had a fantastic holiday, man. The kids got an opportunity to go out to Las Vegas to play in the tournament, and the first game was a little rocky, but they brought it back in the second game, so it was a pretty good event. They left with a trophy, and I guess that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. And the good sister Takara Powell says, "Hey guys, how are you? We're
What's up
doing
with you?
great. Hopefully she had a great holiday weekend as well.
Yeah.
But holy shit. Well, did you guys end up spending the holidays in Vegas or did you come
Oh
back
yeah,
here?
yeah, Vegas, Vegas.
How was it?
It was business, man. We got there, we weighed in, went to sleep, woke up, played the game. Came back the next day, played a game. Came back the next day, played a game, and then left that night. It was
Woo,
it
buddy.
was it was business, man. It was business.
Well, I guess and it's funny because I actually had that queued up to kind of get me hypey. But it's Cheryl Crow's leaving Las Vegas. And in my mind, the Inila Lobo family, as they're leaving Las Vegas, not Anderson, but Las Vegas, right? And they're fucking shooting into Eastern Riverside County. They're playing the Leaving Las Vegas fucking song by Cheryl Crow. That's what I have in my head. And damn it, just like the Ric Flair retirement, leave my memories alone. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. But speaking of
uh,
like things going through the rigor, holy shit, we have this fight,
Mocha.
fight night card headlined by Jose Aldo, former featherweight. I mean, arguably one of the greatest featherweights of all time, right?
Yeah.
And Rob
You know,
Font.
time out. I just remembered. The last time we talked about this, uh, uh, I kind of said Max Holloway was the best featherweight of all time.
He did say Max Holloway. Ooh, Voodoo has got that smooth jazz voice and the look. He almost looks like he's serenading us. Just saying. But oh, I love it. I love it. He's probably gonna jump out of the room and then come back in. But yes, this card is amazing, and I want to say I want to believe what Voodoo was going to allude to, and we'll see if I'm right. But the fact that you know Max Holloway, in many consensus, is the featherweight greatest of all time in terms of the UFC, right? So maybe he was going to say that Aldo was his pick for greatest of all time. I personally don't like to get into the greatest of all time, kind of discussion because it's recency bias. I None other than Brendan Schaub, right, of the Fighter and the Kid podcast and many other things. He said people have recency bias, right? You only know what is good. Where maybe Alexander Volkanovsky, uh, I mean AJ McKee over in Bellator, who's undefeated and has a featherweight Grand Prix title, as well as the actual lineal featherweight championship of Bellator, right? And $1 million to boot, right? So to me, AJ McKee is definitely on the list, right? But you can make an argument that Max Holloway and Jose Aldo for sure, almost ushered in the featherweights from WEC, right? Took his dominance and his title from WEC and almost traded that in for a UFC featherweight title, right? And ran roughshod for dang near a decade until he gets defeated by none other than Conor McGregor, right? Uh, but Jesus Christ, Jose Aldo, one of the all-time greats. I didn't say goats, greats, right? So in this instance, I mean, you have him facing an up-and-coming Rob Font, right? So as we kind of look at the card, this one starts off, speaking of featherweights, with crazy one, actually at bantamweight, because you've got Louis Smolka, I'm sorry, 17-7 on his second run with the UFC, training out of Team Oyama, and he's going against the 10-5 Vincent Morales, right? So Vincent Morales, let's look at his deal. The Vendetta, right, is what he calls himself. But he's coming off of a win over Draco Rodriguez. That was on the undercard of the 200, the UFC 265, Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gahn, right? Where Vince Morales gets a unanimous decision win over Draco Rodriguez. But before that, he has a two-fight losing streak where he unfortunately fell to Benito Lopez via unanimous decision, and that fucking leg kick KO by Chris Gutierrez, man, was crazy. Now he is here. He is here. So I want us to believe where you left off was, you were saying maybe right that Max Holloway was one of the greatest featherweights of all time, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So I went back and I did some research, just to refresh my memory,
Mhm.
and uh, that was one thing. The second thing, I watched Louis Smoka go up to Jose Aldo, and the respect that he gave him,
Yeah.
it just brought it all rushing back. You know what I'm saying? Um, the amount of time that he dominated undefeated with the
Yeah.
strap
Yeah.
must be considered. Even though he's not holding a belt now in our most recent memory, I mean, he came from the WEC into the UFC,
That's
right?
yeah.
Undisputed, reigning undisputed, and he
Hmm.
stopped everyone.
Yep.
That reign of terror
Yes.
must be considered. So Jose Aldo is still that guy
He
in the end.
is.
Hmm. At 145, he's still that guy.
Oh, 100%. And it's crazy, right? Because I think recency bias, he hasn't had the best run, losing to Peter Yan,
Hmm.
getting KO'd by Peter Yan, that split decision loss that many people thought was a win against Marlon Moraes, the former World Series of Fight champion, and obviously the loss to Alexander Volkanovski, right, via
Hmm.
unanimous
Hmm.
decision. But look at this. Renato Moicano, Jeremy Stevens,
Hmm.
Frankie Edgar, Chad
Hmm.
Mendes, Ricardo
Hmm.
Lamas, Korean Zombie, Frankie
Hmm.
Edgar, Chad
Hmm.
Mendes, Kenny
Hmm.
Florian, Mark
Hmm.
Hominick, Manny
Hmm.
Gambirian, Uriah
Hmm.
Faber, Mike
Hmm.
Brown, Cub
Hmm.
Swanson.
Hmm.
Fucking hell, man. Jesus. All of
Remember what
those
he did to
guys,
Uriah Faber's leg?
yes, chop that shit up like a damn lumberjack to the fucking, I don't know, the sequoias of the Californians. It was wild.
Wow, yeah, the dude had, I mean, wow, the undisputed streak, fighting the best of the best at the highest level. Top five opponents
How
every
many
single time.
how many Hall of Famers?
Yeah.
How many Hall of Famers?
World champions.
Right. Fucking Mike Brown is probably arguably at that time, because remember,
Yeah.
right? Remember, WEC featured the lower weight classes where the UFC wasn't adaptable to such things of that. I think 155 was the lowest weight class that the UFC
Mm-hmm.
had at the time. Thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the WEC featherweight on down,
Mm-hmm.
it exposed you to Mighty Mouse at
Mm-hmm.
125, so many bantamweights, Faber,
Mm-hmm.
Cruz, like fucking Benson Henderson, obviously not, different divisions, but just the
Mm-hmm.
names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, as a world champion, you can make an argument that Mike Brown, even in his fighting career, would be Hall of Fame worthy, let
Yes,
alone,
indeed.
let alone
Indeed.
him as a coach at
Mm-hmm.
American Top Team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jose Aldo dispatching him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Faber, isn't he on the Hall of Fame? He should be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a Hall of Famer already.
And Aldo still
hmm
here.
hmm Still fighting the best of the
The
best in the world.
best.
Still fighting the top 10. After all these years, still fighting the top 10. We must consider this. So I re, uh, I retract my previous statement and insert the true king, Jose Aldo, king of Rio.
Yeah, he is. I mean, undisputed king of Rio. That's for sure. I I don't know. Like I said, I I don't like to engage in the greatest of all
hmm hmm
time deals, but I this one is almost undisputed, and
Yeah, his body of work cannot be disputed.
no, not at all. And Takea says, "I'm here. What's up, guys? What's up, Takea? What's up, good sister? Glad to
Yeah,
have you with us as always. You're and hope
yeah,
that you and your family had a great holiday weekend, right?" Now,
yeah.
speaking of, I mean, people who had to cut weight during holidays. I
hmm
talked to people that just competed at Sparstar this past Saturday, and they had to cut weight during Thanksgiving. Well,
hmm
also Louis Smolka had to cut
Yeah,
weight. The Last
hmm
Samurai, because that's what samurais fucking do.
that's
Again,
right.
a Team Oyama pupil, right? And he is a former. I want to say was didn't he win the Lights Out Championship before he ends up back in the UFC? I want. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry,
believe so.
CXF. It was still
Yeah,
CXF
yeah,
at the
yeah.
time.
One of the two. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
I
he
believe
beat
he did.
yeah, and he
Yeah,
beat none other than the Hoosier Carlos Rada, formerly of
right. That's
Saxons.
right.
You
That's
know,
right.
so
Yeah.
and it was the ref stoppage between the first and second round, or the second and
hmm
third round. So that was a fucking crazy deal. And
hmm
he's pretty much made good in his you know his second time around in the UFC, right?
hmm hmm
Majireji Su be beats by armbar in his re-ascension into the UFC back in 2018, right?
hmm
But then loses to Matt Schnell via
hmm
triangle choke, right?
hmm
Brian
hmm
McDonald, he fucking
hmm
KOs him, a bad motherfucker with the hook,
hmm
right?
hmm
And that, but loses to former LFA featherweight, bantamweight champion Casey Kenny, right?
Casey Ken is an animal.
Yeah, he is.
hmm
I mean, he beat none other than Vince Cachero for that LFA title.
hmm hmm
So
hmm
that's a dogfight if there ever was one.
Yep,
But
yep.
making good on the loss to Kenny, he essentially beats Jose Alberto Quinones
hmm
back last year. Actually, almost this time last year, right?
hmm hmm
December 4th, 2021. So
hmm
he's fighting literally a year. Yeah, because I mean, 364 days after his last fight, right?
hmm
His last
hmm
fight taking place December 5th, 2020, and this one taking place December 4th, 2021, right?
hmm
But on the other side of the docket, we've got Vincent Morales, who's 10-5, right? The Vendetta is coming off of a unanimous decision win over Draco
hmm
Rodriguez, but before that, it was 0-2 against Benito Lopez via unanimous decision and Chris
hmm
Gutierrez via leg kicks.
hmm Hey, Louis Smoker all the way, man. Louis Smoker all the way. Whoop his ass, Louis Smoker. Hey, no hard feelings, Vince Morales. This is home team, bro. Louis Smoker is one of us.
Yes, he is.
So it is what it is. We're going with Louis Smoker by unanimous decision.
I
And
like it.
that would not be disputed.
Nah, hell no, hell no. And Takea says, "Yes, yes, we did. Thank you for having me. I hope you and your family had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Mine shows about Voodoo came up swole and cut up. He is, yeah, cutting up stuff. He's got the buff, he's got the cuts. I'm just saying. And the good brother BJ Darden says, shout out to the Maharaja of MMA, the man, the myth, the legend, and the only tribal chief. I acknowledge King Adam Woods. I appreciate that. And if you guys haven't already done so, go ahead and check out,
Darden.
yes, the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, I mean, there's a shit ton. Anchor FM. They're all over the place. Century Link and everything. The Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. So check that out. And congratulations to BCW up in the
Let's go.
Portland area, who had a successful return to the Halcyon in Portland. So I'm just
Let's
saying.
go. Let's
Oh, and
go.
also holla bodyslam.net, which I also am a part of. Shout out to Bodyslam.
Let's go.
So, and
Let's go.
I work with them, of course. Yeah, that's pounding, eating steaks and pounding barbell plates is Vita Maximus. Yes, and yes, sir, yes, sir.
uh,
So in fight number two,
yes.
we have,
Heavyweights.
yeah, woo, buddy, this is somebody gonna get KO'd real bad. But we got
Ooh.
Azamat Murzakanov. There you go. Not saying that one again. But against Jared Van and Azamat is a perfect 10-0, just like his moniker of the professional absolutely dictates. This is actually going to be his UFC promotional debut, coming off of a lot of his wins coming, or at least two of his wins coming by way of the Brave Combat Federation promotion. That is announced by none other than one of the good brothers, the Roaring Lion, Carlos Kremer, is the voice of Brave. So shout out to Brave Combat Federation. But funny enough, Azamat fought for a promotion that I am actually going to say the United Caucasian Fight Championship. That is real.
Yeah, it's probably up in the mountains somewhere.
Where I was going to make a joke, and I'm not going to. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm gonna stay away from it. But yes, so we got undefeated against Jared Van Daren, and Jared, 12-6. Well, so it's funny because you said, the Caucasian United Caucasian Fighting Championship could possibly be in the mountains somewhere in Eastern Europe. Well, Jared Van Daren is the mountain. He's the mountain. I'm not making this shit up.
Hey man, these matchmakers, man, they keep outdoing themselves.
I'm just saying. Now, here's a little, obviously, Jared Vandera is coming off of a loss to Alexander King Kong Romanov, right?
Mhm.
But beat Justin Tafa by unanimous decision, right? But here's an asterisk. Vandera trains at Team Quest under Dan Henderson in Temecula.
Mhm.
So we've got home team theoretically
Mhm.
by way of 90 minutes, right? Or 3 hours, depending on traffic, and an undefeated fighter. And this is kind of a paradox because you especially Voodoo, you're talking about, hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. This is somebody who's a 10-0 heavyweight that literally fucking tore through brave. You have to be brave in Brave Combat Federation and somewhere out in the mountains of the United Caucasian fucking Combat Academy, whatever the fuck promotion. And I'm not saying that whatever. I just think it's funny because all that in my head is United Caucasians is in my head.
Hey, hey, this is how I see it. With Jared, we're bound by home team.
Yep.
However, if you are a betting human being,
Yes.
the data says Azamat is your better bet. But I will go for home team. Woods will go for home team. But if you are a betting person, Azamat will be your best bet.
No, 100%. And you know, I don't bet because Voodoo found that out in a text, and he's like, "Bet," and I was like, "I can't." My dad was a degenerative gambler, so and I don't think that's what he was going for. But he's just like, he sent me back emoji, like, so I don't bet. How about that? But going into the third fight, since we got a, are we saying
Lightweights.
Jared KO or Jared unanimous decision?
Oh, uh, it's gonna be some sort of stoppage. This man Hazmat has a history of first round finishes.
Yes,
First round finishes. I mean, out of all his fights, maybe two or three didn't end in the first round,
this is true.
and he's 10-0. So it speaks for itself. He's gonna come in there with very good hand speed, even though he is 265 pounds. He's gonna come in with very good hand speed. When he gets close and he hurts him, then he'll go for a submission if it presents itself. But this guy's a wrecking ball, killing machine. Jared's got his hands full. With all due respect, he's got
Yes.
his hands full. But I wish him the best, and I will hope that he win. But
Hopefully,
smart money says Azamat.
yeah. Hopefully, you don't wish him the best in future endeavors because that's the last thing WWE superstars hear before they're superstars no longer, right?
Mm.
So I'm just saying. Um, Takea says, "I love MMA fights and I can't wait. Neither can
That's
we.
right.
We're glad you're amped up as we are, and we love having you. So, shout out to you, good sister. Now, yes, the third fight is Claudio Puelles. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with. El Nino is 10-2. 10-2, right? And has a win over Jordan Levitt. You know Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So to beat the Monkey King, to
I remember
me,
this guy.
even though, I mean, theoretically, Claudio has only been in the UFC. Actually, he's been here for a while, going
Mm-hmm.
way back to UFC Fight Night '98, back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then doesn't fight. He was supposed to fight Sage Northcutt, right, in 2017. That
Mm-hmm.
bout was canceled,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then beat Felipe Silva in 2018, right? And then doesn't fight. This dude fights once a year. And I don't know how he hasn't been caught, all right? But he gets KO'd in his first first outing way back in 2016, right? Then hits a knee bar on Felipe Silva in 2018. Doesn't fight again until 2019, where he gets a unanimous decision, and then 2021. This is just June of this year, but that's a big. To me, I think it's a big name in Jordan
Mm-hmm.
Levitt, right? You
Yes,
know,
yes, yes.
so he's going in against Chris Gretzmarker, right? Who's
Yeah, great.
15-4, right?
Yeah.
Grits is coming to us by way of American Top Team,
Mm-hmm.
right? He beat Rafa Garcia back in July via unanimous decision, but
Mm-hmm.
lost to Alexander the Great Hernandez, which he gets KO'd.
Yeah.
But he beat Joe Lozon and sent
Yeah.
Joe Lozon into retirement. To
Yeah.
me, that almost means everything, right? And Gritzmarker is also somebody who came to us in large part in the Ultimate Fighter season 22,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Where I mean there was, none other I think the person that we're most notable in terms of name recognition, he actually lost to Artem Lobov
Oh yeah,
at
that's
the
right.
Ultimate Fighter. He gets KO'd by Artem Lobov,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so we've got Claudio versus Grits.
Um, Grits is just a what 3 spots ahead of him in the ranking. So
Mm-hmm.
this fight is really to benefit Claudio if Claudio comes in and he does what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Claudio has to fight a perfect fight, a mixed martial arts type fight. Every opportunity that he sees, he must take because Chris Grits is a sizzle veteran. He understands the game. The way he fights, he's systematic. However, he's rough. He isn't smooth. There's a roughness to him. He's a grinder, like you're old school, you know. So that is probably the only thing that I can say that might work against him. But it all depends on what Claudio is bringing to the table. Is Claudio going to be able to deliver strikes that are dynamic, right? A dynamic style striking can easily nullify a Chris Grits when
right?
done properly. But we will see what Claudio is bringing to the table. If uh if he's gonna get the job done or not, he'll move up three spaces.
Yeah, 100%. I almost feel like, it's either going to be a Claudio, I want to say second round KO, right? Or if it goes to decision, I feel like Grits essentially has enough in terms of experience
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
kind of get it done versus a guy
Mhm.
who only fights once a year, theoretically.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Um. But he has strung together some wins in the UFC,
Yes, he
even though
has.
it's just three fights. It's very rare that you catch someone stringing together. Uh, uh, he must be one of Yair Rodriguez's boys.
Probably.
You know what I mean? I believe I remember this cat when he fought the monkey fella.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I vaguely remember. He's got dynamic movement, and if he brings that back, he can easily nullify a Chris Grits, no problem.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So I'm gonna go with that. So I guess moving up in the card, this one I think is gonna produce fireworks. You've had the 11 and 2 Alonzo Menafield, right? Atomic Alonzo Menafield, is training both at Fortis MMA and Saxon Muay Thai, which Fortis MMA is down in Florida.
Hmm.
Saxon's here. Don't know how that works, but he's figured it out, hopefully. But he's beat Ed Herman back in August of last year, right?
Hmm.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, August of this year, right? Via unanimous decision on the undercard of the Derek Lewis Cyril Gahn fight in Houston. And then Von Flue choked Fabio
Oh,
Chernoff, and yeah, so that's something. But got KO'd by OSP Oven St. Preux, right? So on the other side of the docket, we have William Knight, who's a scary, scary fella. I mean, in the instance that his name is the Nightmare, and I think it fits him well. But he also uh, faced Fabio Chernoff, right? And KOs him, right? Just fucking knocked his fucking block out, right? Unanimous decision over Alexa Kamor, Cody Brundage. He elbowed him in the Ultimate Fight. I mean, Dana White Contender Series 2020, right? And actually at CFFC, right?
yeah,
CFFC. That's commentated by John Morgan of MMA, reporter fame, and CM Punk. He actually
yeah.
beats Tafan Nakchui. Wait, I fucked that up, didn't I? Because I went dyslexic and my brain was like Chuk Nui, and I was like, that's not it. That's not it. Chukut. No, fuck it. I'm sorry, Tafan. My bad. Oh god. But yeah, so I think there's names in both sides of the docket, right? And
yeah,
but I just feel like somebody's gonna get KO. These okay, William Knight and Alonzo Menafield look like fucking like action figures,
yeah,
not GI Joes. They look like fucking whatever the fucking buffest myostatin inhibited fucking pro wrestling figure or
yeah.
fucking He Man. These two look like He Man. Swear to God. If somebody doesn't get KO'd and finished in this fight, it's gonna go to unanimous decision. And I'm not gonna say it's like R.I.P. Kimbo, right? And Dada 5000 in Bellator, but it could be pretty close because they
Yes,
throw haymakers and then get gassed out into the fucking second round, and then
yes,
not have anything left in the tank. Now, obviously, the light heavyweight. This is happening at light heavyweight. The light heavyweight kingpin for a long time was John Jones, right?
that's right.
So I don't. I know they have to know that in this division they can't be one dimensional. So it
No.
can't be just stand and bang, But I also feel like second round KO. If it doesn't hit second round KO, and it doesn't matter who, I wouldn't be mad at you if you're like, oh, William Knight KO Alonzo Menafield. Wouldn't be
Mm-mm.
mad at all. or Alonzo
Mm-mm.
Menifield KO'd William Knight, I'd be like, yep, I
Mm-mm.
believe it. Like, and that's nothing against them. I'm just saying these motherfuckers pack power.
Yes.
So who do you have to win?
Hey man, this one is 25 versus 37, but when they're in there, it's 50 versus 50, man.
Mm-hmm.
These two gentlemen are equal in my eyes. Alonzo Menifield does have the speed advantage,
Yes, it
the
is.
length advantage. However, William Knight is a short juggernaut of a man.
Yeah,
He's he understands how to move his head and get under the jab or the cross to get to the body and come over to the top of the head. He's
yeah,
very good at that. He grapples well. His wrestling is decent. I think Knight can put pressure on him and make him move back,
yeah.
put him on the fence, grind him out. Menefield, this is the way that he's lost. The last two losses have been in this manner. If William Knight can initiate this game plan, he can either stop him in the third or, like you said, unanimous decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a weird one, but I feel I feel pretty strongly that it's going to go one way or another.
Hmm.
So I guess the official pick was you
Yeah, I
for
got
you.
Knight, William
Uh,
Knight.
okay, I'll go with Menifield, and I just think
Okay.
it's a toss up.
Yeah, it is. It's
It
50-50.
50-50.
Hmm.
Which in the next fight, I got a little bit confused because I'm like,
Okay.
I've never seen Cheyenne Vlisimas, all right, or Vlismas, right? And I
The
was like,
Warrior Princess. I
and I'm like,
remember.
isn't that fucking Cheyenne Base?
Is that her?
I swear to God, I thought it was Cheyenne Base.
I have no idea.
Is it not? Am I fucking it up? Like
Hey,
I
if someone watched this later and they know who that is, if it's Cheyenne base, please write us so we can
because you
make that
remember
correction.
it was like her 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 fight with Montserrat Ruiz. You remember that? It was like a garbage bag fight. You remember this? I was
Vaguely.
so I was so, Montserrat has the fucking
Oh
tattoos all over.
yeah, oh yeah, I remember
You
that
remember
fight.
that? I had a whole tangent on
The one
how
with the
shit
with the
this thing
headlock.
was, and especially
I think that's it. That's right. You
yeah,
remember? Yeah,
especially
yeah.
like they the whole kind of like thread of the marketing of the UFC when they fought right was JP and Cheyenne fought on the same fucking card, right? And they both took L's, but I think yeah, because fucking JP, yes, that's exactly it. JP gets KO'd in the very first fight of the night, by Bruno Silva. Then we
Right.
had our dude Jesse Strader make his UFC debut,
Hmm.
right, in the
Hmm.
second fight. And then we go up and we've got, like two from the top. We have Montserrat Ruiz and Cheyenne Bays. When you
Hmm.
had Adrian Yanez and Gustavo Lopez, you had a Tai
Hmm.
Tuivasa,
Hmm.
KO Harry Hunsucker, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ultimate Fighter winner, Macy Chiasad and Marin Renault. And you're telling me Cheyenne Bays and fucking Montserrat Ruiz? And I think they just fucked up because in this, on the UFC fight night, Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland.
Hmm.
And you remember how that went? Fucking Kevin Holland all talking
Yeah.
that shit and didn't
He
work
got
out.
out wrestled.
Yeah, 100%. He got wrestle fucked, but it says it was Cheyenne Bays there. And then for whatever reason, it says Cheyenne Vlisimas, right? So I'm going with it's Cheyenne Bays. That's what I'm going with, right?
Yeah.
But Cheyenne Bays loses to Montserrat Ruiz. Good God, that was a horrible fight. But we KO's Gloria DePaula, and you remember that impassionate, um, speech that she had. I was fucking broke and shit like that. I think she was like, "I'm gonna sell my kidney and all that fucking. I'm gonna donate plasma, but this $50,000 bonus, it fucking helps." And like her and her husband had to fucking leave wherever the fuck they were, and then whatever. And to me, it was all a mess. I'm not trying to poke holes in the story, but like you and your husband were such that UFC literally built the fucking card around you in terms of their production. That's
Hmm.
you guys were in the main event, but for your skill set, you're priced pretty high, and you lost in arguably one of the worst MMA fights that I've ever seen. Right? So, um, now you're here, right? And you beat Gloria De Paula and get the money, and like, oh yay, I was broke and shit like that. It's just something's amiss to me because you're telling me that with all the production and all the fucking shots that they did with you and JP, like you didn't get paid for that. I don't know. This shit is weird. But obviously, at the task at hand, on the other side of the docket, I'm so hot about it. Damn it! Can you tell? Can you tell? I don't know. But Cheyenne Bays is fighting Mallory Martin, who's 7-4, right? Losing to Pollyanna Viana, and that was her last. Uh, I, I'm so hot about it. I can't even get my shit straight. Really, I swear to God. I swear to God. I got kerfuffled. But yes, Mallory Martin loses to Pollyanna Viana, right, via armbar, and then but was able to rear naked choke Hannah Cyphers,
Yeah,
right? But she
yeah.
lost to Virna Jandiroba, former
Jandy
Invicta
Roba.
champion. That again, to me, Jandiroba is one of the fucking. To me, I think she could be one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
But of course she had a last loss. But
Hmm.
the fact that you hung in there with one Verna Jandiroba,
Hmm.
Mallory Martin is looking pretty good for my pick.
That's right. Me too. Me too.
So
Me
I'm
too.
I'm I'm going to go Mallory Martin. I want to say triangle choke.
Yeah, definitely in the third round.
Third round triangle. Yep,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sounds about right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's do that. That's a consensus pick.
I'm with
Uh,
it, man.
Nothing about Cheyenne Bays, but hopefully you bought some Bitcoin or Dogecoin or some fucking shit with your $50,000, whatever. Because I don't know if your UFC career will be, and I don't want to eat my words, and I don't want to like for her downfall. But Jesus Christ, man, her and her husband. Ugh. I'm just saying. So yeah, Mallory Martin, I'd say triangle choke, third round. That's what we're doing. So
Yeah, no doubt.
we go to the 170-pound division. We have Jeremiah Wells, 12. I'm sorry, 9-2-1, right? And he is going. I mean, has a fucking KO victory over Warley Alvarez. To me, that says something, right? And he basically in his first fight before he comes into the UFC, right, against Marco Smallman, he fucking rear naked chokes that motherfucker in CFFC 78 back in
Yeah.
2019, right?
Yeah.
On the other side of the docket, we've got Jake Matthews, a gentleman that we've become familiar with in this kind of season of COVID shows, right?
Yep.
The Celtic kid or the Celtic kid, Jake Matthews, he lost to Sean Brady, but he fucking beat Diego Sanchez. Yes, because somebody has to.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, hey! Whoa, 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 whoa!
whoa,
It's not a bad thing to lose to Sean Brady. Sean Brady's an animal. Sean
he
Brady
is
was the guy that just beat Michael Chiesa at his own game, like
that.
what 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So Sean Brady's no pushover. So it's understandable. You know what I'm saying?
but Diego Sanchez though.
Diego Sanchez is old, man. He's a
Diego Sanchez
legend.
is out of his fucking mind, is what he is.
He's old and he's out of his mind. He lacks technique. You know, it's unfortunate.
He lacks Josh Fabia because apparently those two aren't butt buddies anymore. So I don't know. It's weird. Them half naked and Diego hanging upside down and fucking Fabia's just punching him. It just doesn't sit well with me.
I
So
understand.
I fuck yeah, man. With that all being said, I think I am going to go. Are you going Wells or are you going Matthews?
Ah, that's a very good question. Um, what do we know about Wales?
His nickname isn't Wishing because that would be awesome, Jeremiah Wishing Wells, but
Um,
it sadly isn't.
CFFC.
Yeah, that's that Northeastern promotion that
Mm-hmm.
like John Morgan and CM Punk commentating. That's the one in
Mm-hmm.
Philly where that dude who's grabbing the inside of the other his opponent's
Right, right,
glove and he lost his
right,
finger
right. I remember that.
at the ECW arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
your fingers lost ECW arena. CM Punk commentating. To me, it's just fucking great. It's
Yanked it right off.
right off, right off.
Wow. Yeah. Um. Either way, man, I think Jake Matthew is the more well-rounded fighter here. Even though he is coming from Australia,
Yeah,
he's seen more diverse, highest level fighters.
right.
So that is gonna be his his advantage.
Yeah,
However, Jeremy Wells could easily knock him out,
yeah.
give if he's able to land an appropriate shot. But I'm gonna gamble on experience and go with Jake Matthew on this,
Yeah,
even
I'm not
though
mad at
Jeremy
that.
Wells can knock him out.
I'm not mad at that. I got Matthews too. I'd say unanimous decision. But again, to get to that 15-minute mark and whatever, and not have your fucking head knocked in, especially when
Mm-hmm.
you have a guy like Jeremiah Wells, that is nothing short of amazing. But I feel like Jake Matthews is going to do something amazing come Saturday night. So, fuck yes, let's do that.
All day.
Now we have the perfect 5-0 Darian Weeks, and he is essentially undefeated in MMA, but he took a boxing bout in
Mm-hmm.
April of 2021, right,
Yes.
losing by split decision. But you know, all of his fights were essentially undefeated. Um, he fought in the LFA against Craig Fairley,
Mm-hmm.
and beat him by a KO, right? So on the other side of the docket, we have 15-8 Brian Bam Bam Barberena, right? Barberena is coming off of a loss to Jason Witt, but before that, a win over Anthony Ivy via unanimous decision, but gets KO'd by Randy Brown, and also KO'd by Vicente Luque in 2019, both in 2019, one in February, one in June, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he also KO'd Jake Ellenberger. So, what say you on this? I'm really interested.
Mm. Barbarino.
Yep,
This could be a fight of the night candidate right here.
I agree.
It could be a fight of the night candidate, but like we always say, we don't go against perfect. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? But besides that, the fact that this dude fought in a boxing match
Uh,
and it was a split decision, that tells
uh,
me that he's got very good hand speed.
yeah,
You know what I mean? At 170, very good hand speed. That could really mean something.
right.
I looked at his record. He's got like 30 amateur fights, man. Like
Crazy.
it's unreal. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 amateur fights. That's a lot of fights as an
Yeah,
amateur. That's a lot of fights for the amateur. But from all those fights, it prepared him for MMA. So this is why he is undefeated.
yeah.
He
I can.
fought he fought everyone as an amateur. So I'm gonna go with him to win this one.
I agree. That's a very compelling argument, and I felt like I was going that way anyway. So yeah, same thing, same fucking thing. Not even a
Weeks,
disputation.
weeks.
Yes. So we got Zalgas Zumagulov, right? 14-5 against Portugal's Manel Cape, who's 16-6. Now we go with Zalgas. Let's look at his resume. His resume of Zalgas
Alibaba.
Zumagulov, it includes a win over Jerome Rivera, but a loss to Amir Albazi and Raulan Paeva, right? But before that, beat Ali Bagatun.
Ali Bagautinov.
Yep,
I
there you
remember
go,
that
one hundred
dude.
percent.
Ali Bagautinov. I
Yeah,
remember that guy.
Shim Shim Shalabim said,
Yeah.
you know, Haji from Johnny Quest. I don't. Good for everyone. Good for everyone. But you know, I guess that is Zalgas's resume, and I mean, here we go. We have Manal Cape. Manal
Hmm.
Cape, the star boy, right?
Yep.
Um, he's been in there with Odie Osborne, and yep, the flying knee that happened
Hmm.
earlier this year. Fuck
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
right?
That's the one.
But lost to Alexandre Pantoja and Takeo Musangaki,
Hmm.
right? But to me, those are pretty big names, right? And that
Mizugaki is big.
fuck yes, it is, you know.
Hmm.
So I feel like Zalgas. I think Zalgas is gonna win. Wait, actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So I got Zalgas.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to dispute that, brother. I think you're right with that Zalgis pick. Um, um, his ground attack is gonna be key.
Yeah,
His
crucial.
ground attack is gonna be key,
It
and it tends to wear down on people. Wears
yeah.
them out, and hand starts to drop. People starts to go to sleep, or
Hmm.
just completely controlled and dominated. That this is the kind of fighter this guy is. He's like a
Yeah,
Khabib type fella. He's like a Khabib type fella. He'll smother you with his offense. He smothers with the offense. This is why he has so many unanimous decision victories.
hmm,
So
yeah,
yeah, I'm going with Zalgas as well, brother.
yeah. So in the 185-pound division, we have Maki Coconut Bombs Patolo
Hmm.
against Dusko Turovic. And in the instance of Mike Patello, right? I mean, look at a guy that's willing to wear your wares, right? He's rocking Coconut Bombs t-shirts, So I love it. He's got the marketing side of it, but hasn't been so successful when it comes to MMA. He loses his. I mean, theoretically, his second fight in the UFC against Darren Stewart, and
Hmm.
then loses to Impa Ganesi, right? And then
Yes.
loses to the Cuban Missile Crisis, Julian Marquez, via Anaconda choke, right?
Right. Right.
So I don't think that Mister Tudorovic has too much of a chance. Everybody's got a bunch of chance, but statistically, the odds are up against him.
The thing about this Todorovic kid is he's still young. He's very young. I believe he's what? Well, how old is he?
He's
Uh,
Everybody else is getting crunk and everything like that, and that motherfucker
yeah,
has
he,
juice boxes. Essentially,
uh,
is what he can.
he's 27. He's 27.
Ah, that's not that old.
Born in 94. Exactly, man. He's still very young. He's still coming into his game. His kickboxing is very good. It's very good. And he knows how to use his length. He's just been in there with some pretty big dudes
Yeah,
recently. So Dusko, I think Dusko's gonna steal this one from the vet.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Dusko, Dusko. He's got flashes of dynamic. His
Yeah,
his kicks his
I
kicks
see
are
what you're
very
saying.
impressive. His kicks are very impressive, and
Hmm.
the kicks that you're wielding the largest muscle in the body, and you're using that. It's like shooting a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? Compared to a handgun.
Hmm.
So when you have that at your disposal, chances go up.
No,
But Maki Patolo, man, he's got hands and he's got heart. He's gonna stand there until kill or be killed. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Uh, Patolo is worth a pick from you.
I think so.
You
This
know what I mean?
Islander, yeah, this Islander. I'm gonna go with Patillo.
Yeah,
Assuming
yeah.
he makes it out of the second round, I'm saying early first round KO.
Hey, 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 it's gonna be possible fight of the night. That's my second possible fight of the night right
Yeah.
there. That one right there, possible fight of the night. It's gonna be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't wait. Now, speaking of all things that are good, we have a clash between Alex Morano and Mickey Gall, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And this one is peculiar because we haven't. First off, this starts out the main card, but we haven't seen Mickey Gall in a while. Literally, the last time Mickey Gall was in the UFC octagon was against just July. So I'm sorry, that might have been the one before, right? Because he fights
Yeah,
Mac Perry. I think that was the one where Perry, basically made him run to the hills, right?
yeah.
But then he rebounds and beats Jordan Williams just what 3 months ago,
Hmm,
theoretically,
hmm. Yep.
right?
Rear naked
So
choke.
so she's got nothing in terms of like motives or what have you, right?
Hmm,
But
hmm.
you look at Alex Morano, man. This dude looks like he is the great white. I was just gonna say that, and I knew that because of all the fights that we've done predictions for in Alex Morano's career. I think I might have even got a special package for your mom. At a spot which we're gonna remain nameless. But
Hmm,
Alex Morano fucking looks like a great white shark.
hmm, hmm,
He
hmm,
does. I
hmm,
got him. I got Morano.
hmm. Me too, man. Ain't no argument about this one
Mm-hmm.
because I mean the other guy, Mickey Gall, he's cool and all. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but there's a difference between a shark and a killer whale.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
subtle
And
differences.
and 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 in this case, Mickey Gall, he's worthy of being called a shark,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Alex Moreno has tendencies of a killer whale. You know what I mean? He is the great white, but he's got killer whale ability.
Mm-hmm. Killer Will Abilities. That needs to be a fucking shirt. Killer Will Abilities. That's right next to Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Jesus Christ. That's great. That's so great. I'm fucking use it. Ah, that's it, man. But yeah, uh,
Oh my god.
collectible abilities, right?
Hey,
Sometimes soliloquy.
Alex Moreno is gonna keep this fight on his feet. He's not gonna go down, and if he goes down, he's gonna pound him out, ground and pound style,
Yeah.
cutting elbows. He's nasty. This guy's a nasty dude, Alex Moreno. This is why they call him the Great White. He's
Uh-huh.
got sharp teeth.
Yep.
Sharp teeth. He's very
Mm-hmm.
good with these things in close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
He is a mixed martial artist, not
Yep.
some grappler. He is
Nope.
a mixed martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
He will jack you up wherever the fight goes, which is why he's number 31 in the world,
Mm-hmm.
20-7. The man is for real.
Yep. For real.
He's beaten some noticeable names.
Mm-hmm.
Look him up, and you'll see
Mm-hmm.
why it's a unanimous decision pick on
Yeah.
Alex
More.
Morano,
Yep.
the
That
the
the
Great
great
White.
white. The great white. Hell yes. Now, moving up in the card, we have Brendan All In Allen, 17-4, against our man, the action man, Chris Curtis, right? Now,
Hmm,
Brendan Allen, we're going to read some of his accolades, right? And, the the win over Punahele Soriano and
Hmm.
Carl Robertson. Carl Robertson, he beats by heel hook,
Hmm.
and then Mr. Punahele, right, wins via unanimous decision. Before that, he was on a T fight losing streak, but that includes one
Grappling.
fight to win. Um,
Hmm.
Matchup that he had there, and the rest of his career is kind of some of the best and brightest out of that
Hmm.
southern states, Louisiana,
Hmm.
Alabama, and what have you. This
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
what this is what life is. So shout out
Hmm.
to you, folk.
Most def, most def,
Yeah.
most def.
So you got Punahele in one corner. Then you have none other than where did I let's see.
Chris Curtis.
Yes, Chris Curtis. I was just
Hmm.
trying to find something. But Chris Curtis, as great as Brendan All in Allen is and how impressive that he has been in this kind of stage of his career,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. Fuck, I got Chris Curtis. I got action, man.
Hey, hey, just on GP status, you gotta go with Chris
Hmm.
Curtis. Just because of the way he came into the game. Man,
Yeah,
he's been on the underground for years,
years.
grinding. Underground for years, grinding.
Hmm.
Grinding with the best of them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Those what do you call those small shows? What do you call the small shows again?
the
What's the name for
regional.
this? Yeah. He ran the original scene.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Rubbing elbows with the very best. So when he got his opportunity to come to the UFC, Phil Hawes was his victim. Phil
Hmm.
Hawes. He caught that counter left, went to sleep. Straight up. The man is a stopper. He comes and he brings the pain.
Yeah.
Stoppage by strike, ground and
Hmm.
pound. Anywhere you want the fight to go, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Anywhere you want it to go. He's been in there with Magomed, Mogomar there, Karimov. I mean,
Hmm.
the,
That's fun to write on a Christmas card, assuming that he
tell
believes
me
in
about it.
Christmas. Holy
Tell me
shit.
about how many syllables in that one. So,
87 is what I counted.
Brandon Allen is a very good fighter, but compared to Chris Curtis, he's young. He's young. Chris Curtis will exploit whatever
Yeah,
weakness he sees, and he will win this fight even by split decision if he has to. But I think he has the ability to stop a Brandon Allen no later than the second round.
I like it. I like it. And as the holiday shopping is continuing to commence, there's motherfuckers that are in the cold right now. You know, like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do with this thing, but my kid wanted it. Just saying. Now,
Straight
speaking
up.
of things that are wanted, Clay Guida wanted to, stay with UFC, and finish out his career, right? Which
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, obviously, for a guy like Clay Guida, who has given so much of his life to the sport or whatever, do what you want. But like, man, I almost feel like Leandro Sanchez is going to massacre Clay Guida. This is probably going to be the bloodiest fight of Clay Guida's career, and it's going to be his blood rather than Leandro.
Ah, I kind of find it hard to disagree with you. Uh, but then Leandro himself is 41 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He is not a spring chicken himself. Even though Clay Guida has more miles on his body,
Mm-hmm.
Clay Guida is actually the younger fighter here. He's
Yeah,
39. He's still 39. So this is one of those last ride type fight for these two gentlemen, both Leandro and Clay Guida. Two men enter, one man leave type scenario.
mm-hmm.
One of these guys will have to go. You know, as you can see, there's a shuffling every now and then, and you don't have to have a winning record to stay.
Nope.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are such that you don't sell tickets and you don't bring excitement. Clay Guida sells tickets.
Yeah,
People
he
know Clay
does.
Guida. This is why he can string together so many losses
Mm-hmm.
and still get
Still be a
love
star.
because you know what I'm saying. So this is all on Leandro. right? Leandro's on a one fight losing streak, but it does not matter how many fight losing streak you're on, Leandro,
Nope.
because if you lose, it's bye bye, Leandro.
They check into the SmackDown hotel. That's what
Yeah,
happens. That's what
but
happens.
it seems Leandro does have the height advantage, the reach advantage, uh, the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu advantage.
Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu.
So, he's a 6 footer.
Hmm.
No, Nueva Mundial, you vow
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
the where Jose Aldo trains.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. I'm gonna go with you in the same manner in which I think it's gonna go to the decision.
Mm.
But it's gonna be action packed the whole way through.
Yeah, it's gonna be action packed. I don't see fight of the night though, but it's
No,
gonna be action packed.
yeah, yeah. So
We'll see.
we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
But one thing that we can see is, as advertised in all of the leaked footage from all of the Golden Girls and everyone, like Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I lost my train of thought. Fuck it. Jimmy Crute, Jamal Hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, another Australian gent. Joining his partner. I mean, not partner, but teammate in Jake Matthews. You know, basically being here against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is damn near undefeated, 8-1. Sweet Dreams are made of this. Or not of is made of this, but Sweet Dreams is Jamal Hill's uh, fucking fight moniker. But he
Hmm.
loses against the Bear Jew, Paul
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna get canceled for
He
that.
hurt
But
his
no,
arm.
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Mhm.
And but he beat OSP. You know, yeah, yeah, he's got some pretty decent wins, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now what Jamal has to kind of contend with. Oh fuck! I just want to say Clay Guida. He's probably gonna get KO'd. I hate to see that because he's
Me too.
just so long, tenured in the MMA game. He's given his entire life, lives out of his van. He does the glamping, and he fucking, shoots from Sacramento even down to here to LA. That's a journey in itself. So,
Hey
I
man,
was,
a lot of people call themselves fighters. Clay Guida is a fighter.
yes, he is.
He gave his entire life to fighting,
Hmm.
straight up,
Yeah,
training up and down the east and west coast, north and south, whatever, all over the United States, training and getting better, just like Ryu from Street Fighter.
yep.
So uh,
Yes,
we don't want to see Clay Guida lose. Like Clay Guida is one of those dudes that's Hall of Fame material.
he is. I think he
So
might actually be in the Hall of Fame.
there you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Because every time he comes to fight, he brings the heat. He brings the heat and he brings the pressure. So it could go Clay Guida's way, but he's given away so much to
Mm.
Leandro Santos. This is the
Yeah,
problem. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. I agree. Now we talked about Jamal Hill. Obviously, Jimmy the Brute Crude, right, is 12-2. Right, in terms of his last fights, it was a loss to none other than Anthony Lionheart Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That's who he fought. Also, Modestus Bukakis, or as I like to
Yes.
say, Modelo Bukaki, right? And Michael Omalenchuk, right?
Uh-huh.
He basically stops him with the Kimura, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Beat Sam Alvey by KO. I mean, this is some vicious shit. Is is essentially what the brute Jimmy Crute is going for, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But Jamal Hill, like I said, sweet dreams, man, sweet dreams. Um, Before the fight with Paul Craig, he was on an undefeated win streak that few people will see. A lot of people will dream it, but few people can see, right? So
Uh-huh.
this is your kind of conservation. right?
Indeed, indeed, indeed. But one thing about Jamal Hill that I know is he's got excellent timing, excellent patience. He's a
Yeah.
sniper. He's very long and he's got deceptive speed. He doesn't move much, which is the trap, right? And a Jimmy Crute, even though he is a complete fighter, he lacks the speed to exploit
Mm-hmm.
a Jamal Hill. And because of that, he's gonna pay. He's gonna
Yeah.
be too slow. He's gonna fall into that spider's web, and he's gonna get knocked out. Jamal Hill is a specialist. In his
Yes,
last
yes.
fight, he only lost because he broke his arm,
Mm-hmm.
not because not because the other guy was dominating or anything. He broke his arm.
Yeah.
Bottom line, he broke his arm. Um, look for Jamal Hill to come back for redemption and get that one back.
Mm-hmm.
I see knockout in the second round.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna go that way too. As you know, nothing against what's his face?
Jimmy
God,
Crute,
Jimmy Crute.
nothing at all.
Nothing at all. But
Business.
I just think Jamal has a lot more tools in his arsenal to be able to thwart and mitigate. Uh, you know, Jimmy Crute's his whole deal, man.
Yeah, yeah. Crute. He's got more tools. He's got the most tools, but Jamal Hill is much more efficient with the one tool that he has, and that's that
Hmm.
boxing.
Yeah, 100%. So, shout out to Jamal Hill, and
He's
even,
bringing it.
yeah, keep bringing it. But one thing we are bringing you is the co-main event of the evening, and I just realized by doing the Bruce Buffer thing, I could get sued. So we're not doing
Oh
that anymore. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's publicly trademarked by Bruce Buffer. So just like Let's Get Ready to Rumble is by his brother Michael, who Bruce is actually Michael's manager. I shit you
uh,
not. So
okay, okay,
they don't take too kindly from
okay.
jacking their shit. So
Hey,
I'm not
no
doing it.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
But we've got Rafael Fizayev, who is 10-1
Yeah,
against a 10-1 Brad Riddell,
yeah.
also of City Kickboxing fame,
Okay,
allegedly.
okay.
Now, Ataman,
Hmm.
wins over Bobby Green, Renato Mocano, Mark DeCasey, Alex White.
Hmm.
Like he's been in the enclave of the tippy top of Hollywood royalty, right?
Yep,
Now we've
yep.
got the Quake Brad Riddell, right? Who is a sick. We mentioned City Kickboxing, but he's got wins over Drew Dober, Alex De Silva, Magomed Mustafayev,
Yeah,
um, Jamie Malarkey, Mikey Vautuna. Just a lot of names here, right?
yep.
So the way that I think this is going to happen is it's going to be Fizayev because he's so much bigger. He's going to make Brad Riddell carry his own weight, right? So yeah, I mean, in terms of carrying the weight, we have one, two, three city kickboxing guys, right?
Yep.
And one in the co-main event, which means a lot. I think the honor isn't lost on them,
Hmm.
but Fizayev is just too fucking big. That dude's a monster for the 155-pound division. That dude's a monster.
Those leg kicks,
He's
man.
a
Those leg
yeah.
kicks.
He's a living, breathing embodiment of you know,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this guy. I'm a
yeah,
fan of this guy. He brings the heat. He brings the heat at a high level. It's not just a brawl with him. He's calculated with his striking. He
exactly.
hits you. He throws only what he knows he's gonna hit you with, and that's dangerous. Dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just putting together combinations.
Oh,
He's trying to hit you to the body so you can drop your hands to embrace your body while he
mm,
takes you out on top. This is
yeah,
the kind of striking this guy brings, and it's full power every time. The kicks are devastating. The
no,
leg kicks are
that's to think about.
devastating. Chop the legs up, expose the body, take him out. This is the way he does things. He
Hmm.
is an assassin. So it is what it is. Fizaev is my pick in this one as well. The leg kicks are going to be instrumental in
Instrumental.
this stoppage, third round stoppage of Brad Riddle.
Yeah, yeah. We're at the main event of the evening. We've got Rob Font against Jose Junior Aldo, and I'm not even gonna fucking mince my words. I got Aldo unanimous decision.
This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one because we got the young Rob Font
Right.
making his splash. He's put together quite a win streak. I mean,
Mm,
we're talking about current Bellator champion Sergio Pettis, Ricky Simon,
yeah.
Marlon
Simone.
Moraes, Cody Garbrandt, Thomas Almeida. He's been in there with some serious fighters. And he's only had trouble with the ones that are grappler like type fighters. Now, one thing we know about Jose Aldo is he's not gonna grapple you. No, he's gonna stand with you. He's gonna move his feet. He's gonna use his hands. He's gonna use his boxing. He's lately he prefers boxing, which is fine.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo's a legend, 30-7.
He can do
I mean, if
whatever
you
the
if you
fuck he
if you
wants.
look at his losses, he's only lost to world champions. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Pietre Yan, world champion. Marlon Moraes, world champion. Alex
Holloway.
Volkanovski, world champion. Max
Holloway.
Holloway, world champion. Conor McGregor, world champion. Come on, man. He's only lost it with the exception of Luciano Azevedo, with the exception of that guy. Everybody has been a world champion at the highest of
Highest
high.
degree. Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's at number 6. I mean, it makes sense that if something was to happen to someone, he gets a title shot immediately. He is that high caliber type fighter. Even though he's fought for so long, it's the wealth of knowledge
Mm-hmm.
that wins these fights when you get to these top 5 and top 6 uh, uh, level. Once you get there, it's every little inch that counts now. You're not just gonna knock them out now. I mean, it's not as easy to just knock them out. You know, you gotta be more. You gotta be able to put together a winning game plan. Putting together uh, types of fighting, ground fighting to hand fighting, or maybe kickboxing,
Right.
whatever it takes to defeat that opponent. These higher fighters, they have that. Most of them are complete fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a Jose Aldo who's got a wealth of knowledge. And
Mm-hmm.
if I know Jose Aldo like I know Jose Aldo, if he uses the leg kicks like he used to do in this matchup, Rob Font does not have a prayer on
Mm-hmm.
this planet of winning this fight.
Yeah.
So the wealth of knowledge that Jose brings to the table, I'm going to second you on that one.
I mean, you're
I'm going to
subscribed to
second you
that.
on that one.
Yeah, you're subscribed to the belief. It's, yeah, man. Right before we leave, Impa Kanyesi released by UFC after 3 months after his second octagon loss, and that's happening a lot, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's a few more things that's been going on in the news, man. You saw the thing about Nate Diaz,
Yeah, Nate Diaz,
hey man,
arms up.
see, yeah. The truth is, look, let's put it all on the table. The truth is, if he gets in there with Shamzat Chimaev, he's gonna get ragdolled and thrashed.
Mhm.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Nate, he's not gonna box Nate. He's just gonna throw him around, suplex him, and make him look real bad. That's what will happen. Nate knows this is what's gonna happen. I mean, if Chimaev was gonna stand with him, Nate will
yeah.
take that fight, no problem. But Nate already knows that this guy's gonna throw him around like a rag
Mm,
dog and smother him, and if not submit him. So
yeah.
he's not gonna take that fight. He ain't stupid. Which is so. Take notes, youngsters. Take notes. This is how you handle a situation like this. Being a veteran, you tell him that he is not on your level. You tell him. You tell him. Uh, 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 why don't you go fight people on your level? This is
Right.
this is grown man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just step to the grown folks like that. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your place and recognize a real mother effing G. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what he's saying. He's like, I'm all about money fights, big money fights. You know, when you get up to my level, then we can talk. But the truth is, we all know that Hamza Chimaev will smash him, and that's the truth. But Nate, being Nate, he played it off perfectly. That's how you take care of business. That's how you take care of business. You know, you can't say I'll beat you. If Nate was in there and was like, I'll beat you and I'll beat you, we will all know that he was lying. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You know? Bruce Lee always said, if I told you that I'm awesome, you'd think I'm boasting. But if I told you that I am not awesome, you know I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the route that Nate took.
Yeah.
And this is why Nate is in the position that he's in the
Oh yeah.
UFC. You know what I'm saying? He's learned to use this and he's learned to use his tongue. So it is what it is. He's doing this thing. And then there was one more thing. What
Dana
was
White
there
getting
was
COVID.
That's right. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
How
And
about that?
it's wild because I mean, theoretically speaking, he supposedly was like, not wearing a mask in the performance institute or whatever the fuck. So they fucking called him into the fucking meeting early morning, and I got let go. And I asked like, what's gonna happen? Um, I don't know. What's gonna fucking happen? I don't.
Hey. It seems he's gonna beat this thing, man. I think
Yeah,
he's beaten it already.
you're right, 100%. But the fact that he went maskless. I mean, and masks don't mask, vax don't vax. Do what do you. But I find it hard when people go hard in the paint one way, and then because they end up catching it, they end up a whole different way, a whole different ideology, or might not even fucking care, and all the fucking hate by fucking shitting on a particular way about going with this fucking pandemic that we don't have a lot of context for, right? Like, you could do the best you can, but I mean, we could argue that Dana might have put other people around him in the UFC bubble, you know, in a precarious position. So, um, I
You,
hope I hope he's
I
okay.
okay, okay. So you really believe in those masks, man?
I don't believe in anything, honestly.
You think
I,
those masks can really stop a if, like let's say like how Dana had COVID
yeah.
and he wore those masks? You think he can really keep from giving it to someone? I think
Well,
people will still get it.
yeah, and especially with how I guess tight the fucking UFC bubbles are, whether it be Abu Dhabi or Jacksonville or Las Vegas or whatever. I think there's just like people that just do not give a fuck, right? This is you're talking to somebody who unfortunately got it and got it really fucking good.
Hmm.
But then I was also kind of worried about my health, even before pandemic. So mask versus no mask, I don't know what the fuck works, right? But if theoretically UFC wrote the playbook of what every other sports team in America should be doing, right?
Right, right.
Then this, man,
That's true. That's
yeah.
true.
So like I said, do you or whatever, but like, if the UFC, is the Bible that other sports organizations kind of go on, and you're in the middle of the bubble, and that doesn't work, then what the fuck works?
Yeah, man. That's the thing about those elite type fellas. You know, once you hit a certain tax bracket, I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, look at Biden. Biden would tell us, he'll go on a news conference, put on his mask, and be like, hey, do this and do that, do this. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
that conference is over, he snatches it right off and he walks away. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've
Yeah,
seen Governor
Newsom.
Newsom. Yeah, we've seen him too. having parties with no man. I mean, once you get to a certain tax bracket, that's just the facts of the matter. They don't have to. They don't even live in the same plane as we live.
Yeah.
Really, they have their own plane. You know, the the south of France and whatnot. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So when you get to live like this, wearing a mask is irrelevant. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It is us that they make
Mm.
wear the mask and all that.
And that's the truth of the matter. So I mean, just fucking do you and whatever, you know. And I hope everyone is well. I hope your families are well. You Voodoo, hope your family is well. You are a good brother to me. Like, fuck yeah. So
But
I
you
just
are absolutely right, though. You are absolutely right. If you are the head of
yeah, for organization.
an organization, you have to lead by example. You are absolutely right.
Hmm.
I just want to
Yeah.
express that.
No, and I, you know, right, wrong, and whatever. There's just been like so many. I don't like to get into discourse with shit like that because you got to do the best that you can for yourself and your family and figure it all out. But if the UFC can't do it and they were the most stringent, right? You saw they made a fucking documentary about how they fucking dealt with going to Fighter Island in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Hmm.
So if anybody that's going to figure it out, I think WWE more so than anyone else is going to figure it out. I just think
Hmm.
this is just one of the nuances, unfortunately, of whatever the fuck is going around.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, Sergio Pettis is fighting this weekend for Bellator.
yeah, fucking Horiguchi, and
Oh,
that's a
Gucci, baby.
fucking that's. I mean, theoretically, Horiguchi's risen fucking title isn't up for grabs
Hmm.
because for me, I would be winner take all. Right?
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
that's what you want. You want a supreme being, but that's
Hmm.
not what's happening. It's only Sergio Pettis's Bellator title that's going to be up for grabs. But even
Hmm.
still, you're going to see a fucking fight of a lifetime. I believe. Right? I'm going to be clicking over for here the UFC to Bellator or whatever combate's got going on. Like I'm about that life. So there's going to be a lot of fucking MMA consumption just
Hmm.
this weekend in my fucking brain.
Yes, 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 yes. The Bellator will be on Friday,
Mhm.
UFC on Saturday. So you got time to enjoy and let it soak in.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, combates on Friday.
Combate
Bell-
as well. That's right.
yeah,
Tommy Aaron's in the house.
shout
Tommy
out to
Aaron's gonna be
Tommy.
fighting for Combate, baby. Froggy Estrada's back. He's made his
Yep.
long triumphant return. He's back in the Combate cage as well.
Mhm.
So look out for those folks out there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Go check them out.
Yeah, and there's also an LFA. So you got Combate, Bellator, and LFA all running the same night.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm gonna watch one and then fucking pull up the other two and figure that shit out. But that's what we do for you guys here, you lovely, lovely people here.
Oh yeah.
And before we go, Voodoo, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, most definitely. You can find me on YouTube, Voodoo Maximus, Instagram, Voodoo Maximus, Twitter, Voodoo Maximus, Facebook page, Voodoo Maximus, uh, Snapchat, Voodoo
Hmm.
Maximus.
There you go. Yeah, and I'm according to Woods. I've got some cool shit. The YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitch, the Twitter, all the places you can find the principal podcast, and then according to Woods on everywhere else where I share dumb shit memes. And I actually got kicked out of TikTok because they didn't like the fact that there was this guy who was hanging out in the fucking trucks of his house, and he was just fucking whatever, and he slips. Well, I
Oh
posted on
yeah.
yeah, I posted on TikTok, and I got a violation. So I've
He
been.
fell on the couch, man. He didn't even get hurt.
That's what I tried to appeal to them. They weren't happy at all. So I said, "Fuck it. I don't like people unhappy at me."
Yeah, the Chinese don't play, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. So according to Woods across the board, Voodoo Maximus across the board, Thank you guys for joining us here at Voodoo in the Woods, and we will see you sometime Sunday with more Voodoo in the Woods, where we're gonna fucking decompress what the fuck happened on this night. So, peace, love, and chicken grease. We are out.